How would you describe the bond between the offensive linemen?
I think we all very tight-knit, understanding that these 5 guys is guys that I'm going to war with. Like, having a love for one another, not just as a teammate, but as a friend. Somebody who will hold you accountable and be there for you through any hardship or anything that you're facing. Chill, bro. You're not finna laugh. You're not finna ruin it.
This man talking about war, dog. I was just thinking about all us going to war. Like, bro, we would not make it. We too goofy now. Is that a ball?
So, welcome to the Zen Game podcast. I'm here with Davion Carter and Upshaw, 2 offensive linemen for Texas Tech. So, thank you guys very much for being here with us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for having us.
Absolutely. So, I want to know all about you guys and your football journeys. Just where, when, and how did this journey start for both of you? And what really clicked with you that football was going to be the sport you guys were going to play for pretty much the rest of your life or the remainder of your playing career. So we can start with Davion.
Are you gonna start with me? I got a longer story.
Oh, that's perfect. We have time.
I say I started off around like probably 10th grade. Well, I started, Pee Wee and stuff like that, but it was cool. I was just doing it because all my friends was playing it. Then 8th, 9th grade, I wasn't playing. It wasn't going how I wanted to. I had to do some, reflecting in the mirror, and I had a good O-line coach in high school. He really took the time to say, son, if you keep working and stuff like that, you can play at the next level. I never really knew what he meant until now. I thank him now. He a head coach at one of my local schools. And so I started as a 10th grader. We won our only state championship in our school history to this day. And by the time my senior year, I had a couple small Division I. I had like Jackson State, Nicholls State, like smaller Division Is. But me personally, I knew like I wanted the FBS. Because everybody said I couldn't play it, so I ended up going JUCO, top JUCO in Mississippi and in the nation, Northwest Mississippi Community College. Won 2 state championships, a national there, and I was fortunate enough to leave. After my second year, I went to the University of Memphis, and I played two seasons there, and I had really good seasons there. I finished 2022 with no sacks, and I think I was top 15 in pass blocking and stuff like that. And then after I left Memphis in 2023, I was the number 1 offensive lineman in the portal. And I was blessed to come to Texas Tech with Coach McGuire. And we had a really good year last year. Some things that we got to clean up, finish on some details and things like that. But I'm really excited for this year with this team and everybody, welcome.
And now, Ant, how about you?
So I started playing football my 8th grade year. I wanted to play my 7th grade year, but I didn't. Started playing my 8th grade year. Then after my 8th grade year, went to 9th grade, but that's when COVID happened. So I chose not to play football my 9th grade year. Going into my 10th grade year, I decided to pick it up again. Played, I didn't play offensive line. I played defensive line until my junior year. My junior year, I was told I had to play offensive line. So went ahead and did it. I was the left tackle for Irving High School. If you know anything about Irving High School, we wasn't very good. But I was blessed to get a new coaching staff my senior year who really helped with my game, helped me develop and gain weight because I was a really low tackle. I played at 223 my junior year, got up to 260 my senior year. And eventually I had a really good year and picked up a couple offers. I had a lot of JUCO, a lot of D2s, a couple D1s, but then Tech came through. And my dream was always playing at a Power 5 school. So went ahead and took that, and one of the best decisions I made in my life.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you both have had similar paths in terms of taking a break and kind of reflecting on the journey you guys have made it up until that point. So when you say that you took about a year off, you said, to kind of just really reflect, what were you reflecting on? Like, what did you learn about yourself that you felt was needed to be reflected upon? And what did you learn about yourself after that time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like along the journey, when things don't go your way, like, you gotta take a look in the mirror, like, it's not always somebody else's fault. Like, when you have a victim mindset, it's gonna keep you down, like, you always gonna find that somebody else is the reason for your downfall, and, I just started doing everything that I could do, like, the things I could control, if you would say, and just putting in the extra work, putting in the film, and just working hard as I ever did, you know what I'm saying? So, like, stuff like that, and yeah.
And as for you, obviously, COVID was a dark and sad time for a lot of people. And unfortunately, it put a halt to a lot of things, including sports. So within that time that you decided to not play football, what did you kind of learn about yourself in that time? And do you feel like you were able to come back stronger than you did before COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. What I learned about myself was I don't do very well on my own. I I like and kind of need to be in a group setting to function, to learn more than what I would learn on my own. And during that time, I lounged around, but I figured out what I really wanted to do in my life. Not just playing football, but pursuing a career in football.
Hmm. So you feel like you just took that time and you matured a lot as you like everyone grows up, matures, and comes to their senses with a lot of things. But do you feel like it helped you to become a man first before becoming like an ath Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it.
It's alright, it's alright. Why you laugh? Hey, nah, I was just thinking about something.
But I wouldn't say it per se made me into a man. It just made me realize my shortcomings
Mhm.
and where I need to improve.
So you both had different paths leading to Texas Tech. Like you said, you started at JUCO, then you transferred from Memphis, and you came in as a preferred walk-on. And you actually took a preferred walk-on spot at Texas Tech over multiple D2 and JUCO offers. So how did your journey shape you guys into becoming the players that you guys are today? And we can start with Ant.
So obviously being a preferred walk on, you kind of have to humble yourself to take that step. Um, but I say coming in as a preferred walk on really did humble me and teach me to calm down, relax, don't jump in the hype. But it also taught me that I need to work because at Irving, I was always the guy. I was one of the biggest guys on the team. Never really had to work to get to play. Here, especially as a preferred walk on, I had to work. I have to work every day, day in, day out. I have to do more than somebody else on the team or a scholarship guy. I have to work a little harder just to be able to be recognized. So it just helped me and showed me how to work for what I really want to achieve.
Do you feel like, how do I word this? Do you feel like you appreciated playing more because you felt like you had to work harder or work more for what you wanted to accomplish at the Power 5 level?
It really showed me football because in my mind, football was the high school football, never really, if you're that guy, you're that guy. But being around guys who've been playing football, coaches who understand football, they show you on a deeper level how and what it takes to get to the top, get to the guys in the NFL, get to the guys that's even starting. Um, it showed me a lot, and yeah, yeah, it showed me a lot.
No, it's perfect. I mean, honestly, because I've talked to a couple walk-on players from different sports, football, basketball, and they've all had similar stories where they feel like, not feel like, they know they have to show up early, they have to stay late, just so that way they can feel like they're in the same realm as everyone else around them, just because they have to work that much harder, and they feel as if that's the way they have to really make an impression on themselves, even though they know that as players, they're at the Division I level, they're there for a reason. They were given that walk-on, that preferred work walk-on opportunity for a reason. It's just they feel because, they weren't a scholarship player, that they have to prove themselves a little more. And I actually one of the people I interviewed, he plays at FAU, he just got a full scholarship after being a walk-on, so just everything happens for a reason. That time will come, and the hard work will always show, and it will always pay off, so
Yes.
congratulations for all of that,
Thank you.
of course. And now Davion, how about you?
I feel like it do make you appreciate it more. Like coming from JUCO, you more humble than anything. And just like similar to being a walk-on, I'm an undersized lineman, for my position. So every office line I played on from since high school, I've been the shortest one. And I take pride in that. Like you said, doing the extra things to make me feel like I'm in the same realm. Because if I don't do the extra things and I feel like they're getting better than me, they're already bigger, might be stronger, and they might be faster. So I got to give myself some kind of edge, some kind of confidence. So I watch a bunch of film. I work really hard, and I always try to outdo somebody. Like, if they go in early, I'm just going to stay out and do like 5 more reps, just something that I can, feel better with. Like, even when I'm preparing for a game, I got to watch a ton of film. I go watch the high school film 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I want to see how they develop as a player to give me peace because I'm like, man, he got 40 pounds on me, or he 5 inches taller than me, stuff like that. So coming from JUCO, I feel like it's humble beginnings. Like, you always hungry, and I'm grateful for the journey. Like, you do appreciate it more when you work hard at something and then it finally start paying off, and then it just brings satisfaction. Just like with anything, like when you work hard at something and it pays off, you feel good about it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you said that watching film and looking up to others and having that confidence that motivates you to want to work harder. Who's someone in your life that is constantly pushing you to be better and that really helps to motivate you and instill all the confidence that you have in yourself?
Can it be myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, cause I mean, of course, my parents and everybody push me, but they just so happy for me. They get so caught up in just being, man, I'm so proud of you. Man, you could be not starting, you could be hurt, whatever. They gonna come to the game and they just gonna be happy to see me. And I got a lot of friends and people like that in my life, but I set really high expectations for myself. And so my hardest critic. So like I don't really praise myself. I leave that up to other people, but even when somebody praises me, I sometimes feel like I'm still not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? So I always set high expectations. They tell me if you shoot for the moon, you might land on the stars.
Right. Would you say, because you said you're yourself's biggest critic, would you say people say that comparison is the thief of joy, but I feel like in return that can also serve in a positive way. So you said you always try to like be better than the person next to you in a way. Like you want to, like you said, if they show up a little earlier than you stay and get an extra 5 reps in. So why do you feel like, do you just feel you have to work that much harder than them because of, like you said, you feel like you're an undersized O
Absolutely.
lineman?
Absolutely. So being a competitor, I feel like it's something you're born with. Like, comparison is the thief of joy, but I feel like comparison can also bring out the best in you.
Right.
Always feeling like because somebody is always gonna be better than you. That's what somebody always gonna tell you. That somebody gonna be stronger, faster, bigger, whatever the case may be. But you can always get the edge on somebody around you. You know what I'm saying? So you're not just competing against people on your team or people in the same conference. You're competing against everybody in the world. Like, especially for scholarships in JUCO, I used to stay up all night sending my film out to 50 D1 coaches every night before I go to bed. And I did that because 50 is the number. They'll cut it off. They'll say it's spam. They'll cut it off and you'll have to do it tomorrow. So I do it again the next day. And I really wasn't looking for all 50 to hit me back. I just needed one to take opportunity. And eventually it paid off. And I knew once you get your opportunity, you gotta make the most of it because you might not get it again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And then, Ann, I'm gonna throw the same question back to you. Who do you feel is a big motivation in your life and someone that pushes you to be your best self every day? And it can also be yourself. It's not a wrong answer.
I want to say my dad. We have a really tight knit relationship. We've always been really close. Um, he was with me throughout my whole recruiting process, and like throughout the process, this was new to both of us. Um, he would, wanna want me to go to like a lesser D1 that offered me a scholarship. So there's nothing to worry about. But in doing so, I think our relationship blossomed and grew because I had to take a chance on myself. I had to put my hand and my head in the dirt and say, this is what I'm gonna do, even though I know it's not looking hot for me. And in doing so, he trusted me and I trusted him to be there for me. And he was just as I hoped. And throughout my whole career as a freshman going into my sophomore year, um, he's been there for me. I call him when I need to cry, when I need to be honest, get stuff off my chest. He's the first person I could talk to because a lot of people don't tell you football is a really heavy mental game. It's a lot of things that you deal with in your head that you do to yourself, like stressing out, worrying about the next day instead of keeping your feet in the ground. And he's someone who I can say is my stress reliever, somebody I can talk to about anything, and I know they won't judge me. So, yeah, I say my father has been my biggest inspiration.
That's awesome. It sounds like you're a big family-oriented guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I also speaking of that, you have 8 siblings, is that correct?
Yes, nah.
So, did growing up in a big family influence your work ethic or mentality at all?
Not until I got into high school. We were always really close. But my going into my I believe my junior year, that's when I had to pick it up because being as the oldest, I was the person they looked up to. So me being the oldest and not having any offers and not really knowing what I wanted to do in my life, it made me reflect on myself and think like these are my siblings. They look up to me and I'm not doing anything special, not doing anything important, not showing them any way to live a successful life. So I picked up my slack for them so they could see that they can do it too.
Mhm.
Cause, my family, well, my mom and my dad were separated and I didn't live with all of my siblings at one time, but I would get to see them throughout the months and years, things of that sort. And just seeing their smiles on their faces when I would come around would it gave me a sort of motivation to keep pushing, even when in high school we wasn't winning very many games, and I was thinking about quitting and just giving up on my dreams of football. So yeah.
You just felt like you didn't wanna let them down.
Mhm.
I mean, clearly, like, I'm sure they're very proud of you regardless, and you continue to make them proud as you continue with your career and just even as a person, you just showed them what it means to truly work hard and no matter what obstacles come in your way or maybe the journey isn't completely straightforward, that no matter what, like, if you put your mind to something, you're going to achieve it.
Yes, man.
Did they pick up any similar hobbies as you? Like, do any of them play football or aspire to be a
Um,
football player like you?
One of my younger brothers, his name DeQuintus Peoples. He just started playing football. He didn't play it very long. He just graduated as well, but he started playing football. Um, we had a whole talk about it, tried to help him out. We're playing different positions, but um, but not only him, my sister, she's in a cheerleading now and athletic training, and one of my younger brothers, he um he just started playing football, but he also likes soccer. So I have a couple family members who like to linger in sports,
Mhm.
but I'm just happy they're doing something.
Yeah, right, they're keeping themselves active and
Mhm.
productive. No, but that's awesome though, just, like, you're a role model to them in multiple different aspects, like, I feel like you're also not even like an athletic mentor, but just a personal mentor, just being that you are the oldest and they can have somebody or they have a lot of other people to look up to, you're one of 8 siblings, so they have people from a younger aspect and an older aspect to kind of either see themselves in or look up to at the same time, you know what I mean? So, for both of you, What's something you've both learned about yourself after your first full season in the Big 12? And we can start with Davion.
That I need to stay in the playbook a lot more than I thought I did. Going into college football for the first time, my biggest problem was learning the playbook, learning the plays. And as an offensive lineman, that's like, I got to be up here. You got to know not only what you're doing, but the man next to you is doing. So both of y'all can, get it done together. And coming from high school, not very many plays, kind of all the same. College, like, is diverse. There's so many other things for so many other fronts. And that was one of my biggest problems, was knowing what I'm doing and what I need to do to get there.
Who helped to give you that extra push to really be like, hey, I need to be on top of my stuff?
My boy Davion.
Really?
Yes. He's been helping me out through my whole football journey, helping me with drills, my steps, playing multiple different positions in the playbook. He would watch my film and send me what I need to do
That's awesome.
after watching his film. So
That's a real teammate right there. That's
yeah,
like
sure.
that's just all it comes down to, is just working together. I mean, you guys are even in the same position group, so he's able to give you even more insight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So, how about you?
I say transferring from Memphis, I wanted to prove to myself that I can play at the highest level, which is Power 4. Because whether or not we like it, Power 4 teams and people, they look down on G5. Like, not saying that it's anything lesser of a ball, but it's not Power 4 football. You feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I just wanted to prove to myself that I could still play at a high level. And last season, I feel like I did to a certain degree. I got some things I'm gonna clean up this year, and I'm gonna put together even a better season. But I was really happy with the way I played last year, man. Things I learned from playing is you really gotta buy in with the guys next to you. Sometimes with this transfer portal, a lot of guys, they just come in as plug and play or pay to play even now. Like, and you miss out on the relationship building that you used to have when you was in a dorm all the time with JUCO, or you spend a lot of time with people. Now it's like it's turned into a business, which it is now. And so a lot of guys are gonna be at places 1 year. They might just come in for 6 months even, and they just wanna, man, I wanna ball out and I just wanna get to the league. But it's about building those relationships. So that's one thing I learned, because I got granted an extra year in December, on like December 27th, right before we played the bowl game, because of Diego Pavilion rule. Shout out Diego. The JUCO boys, we got another year. And so I feel like that's something I needed to work on, building relationships with the guys around me so they could trust me and I could trust them when I'm out there on the field.
Absolutely. And a little bit, like, speaking of relationships, I was told to ask you about a particular coach at Memphis. So, who was your favorite coach at Memphis, and what advice did he give you that still carries on?
Coach Brad Saylor, man. When I got to Memphis, y'all, I was still rough around the edges. Coming from JUCO, like, I used to just do my own thing. Like, I really wasn't mature. I was young in my career, and he just took me under the wing, and he saw some things in myself that I didn't, and he just made me continue to work on my craft, like just giving little pointers here and there, calming me down when I'm angry, and just talking me through things that I needed help with and stuff like that. You always need coaches like that. You feel what I'm saying? You need people around you, because every day you're not gonna be able to give 100%. Some days you might have 80, some days you might have 0, but you got to give max of what you have for that day. You feel what I'm saying? And he taught me the stuff like that, and I'm forever grateful for him.
What's something that he's told you that still sticks with you to this day?
I tell you what, we played Arkansas at the Liberty Bowl, and he happened to be there, him and Coach Hankins, who is now the DC. And he was like, he used to just, man, he done said some funny stuff, but I was trying to think of one thing that I forgot what he said, man. He done said so much stuff, man. He used to just put the emphasis on how much harder I gotta work because I'm an undersized lineman. So like he used to just always keep it real with me. Like he never used to sugarcoat anything. We could have open conversations. Like The worst thing you can have in your corner is the person that lies to you to protect your feelings. Sometimes you need to hear the truth and tell it from a different perspective, because every perspective is not going to be yours. You know what I'm saying? So when he give it to me from a coach's perspective of like, how do you view me, coach? Like, and so he would tell me, and I was like, man, if I didn't like the view that was, you know, that I was putting out there, I got the ability to change that. You know what I'm saying? So when I used to like not be able to do the runs or stuff like that, walking out or stuff like that, just having a bad attitude and stuff like that with football, like it just showed me the character issues that I needed to fix, you know, in order to prolong my football career.
Would you say he kind of like you say, he would just give it to you how it was? Did you guys have kind of like a father-son bond, like, where he would, like, kind of not bully you, but just
Yeah.
kinda, like, poke fun?
Yeah, he'll always bring the best out of me. Like say if I'm like not in the, you can tell in somebody's face if they walk out to practice, they not feeling it. You can pretty much read their body language and their demeanor. And he used to just throw out, "Hey, he ain't got it today," or like, you know, just stuff like that, and it'll just get you going like that. Like,
Just instigate.
yeah, instigating, like, or like just bring it out of you. Like if we're in a team setting, he's like, you ain't gonna go knock him out, or you ain't gonna do this. Like, you know, just bringing out some competitive. If you're a competitor, you always gonna want to go at it.
Those are the best coaches to have,
Yeah,
honestly, just
absolutely.
always having them in your corner. They're not all business all the time. I mean, at the same time they are, but it helps you to become comfortable with the environment you're in and make you feel
Absolutely.
like you're seen, but at the same time, like, you guys can have fun with
Yeah.
business and everything. So kind of speaking of business, and I've done some research and coaches admire your quote unquote blue collar work ethic. So how does or what does blue collar work ethic look like in a football setting, and how has it helped you to succeed?
For me, it's always taking another step. You know, you always have your day laid out for you, but there's times and increments of times where you can fit more in, like extra drills, an extra set on the line, a couple more curls, or a couple of a little bit more film time, just to learn your position and learn the position that you could have the opportunity of playing. Um, yeah, that's the blue collar to me. It's just always taking another step.
Mhm. And kind of backtracking a little bit, you were a two-sport athlete in high school. So you ran track and field and you also played football. So track and field isn't something you see, like in every lineman's background, you know? So how has that put how has that shaped your athleticism, and just how do you put those two sports hand in hand with one another?
Well, in track, I did shot put and discus, and I ran a couple relays, not too many, but but I say they correlate and help out with my athleticism by in shot put, you really have to be light on your feet. You can't be stuck in the dirt for too long, or you'll lose your power, you'll lose your momentum. And as an offensive lineman, you can't be stuck in the dirt for too long. You can't play very tall, or you get knocked back, sat in the quarterback's lap, things of that sort. So being light on my feet, quick on my feet, and staying low in the movements that I'm taking, the steps that I'm taking. And shot put also helps out with strength. You always throwing this heavy ball. So and it was in my dominant hand. Yeah, take that out. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Richard Chad name.
No, facts. But yeah,
It's a podcast. We're allowed to chat. It's okay.
Yeah.
But no, just that's how you feel. Like, do you feel it helped you to become a better football player?
100%.
And
With
what?
all the running, like my coach, we used to hate it, but when there would be meets where we wouldn't have to throw and we'd have to run what the long distance guys ran, so it'd be like 14 100s. Yeah, nah.
It wasn't it.
14 100s,
Okay.
and it'll build down to 13, 12, 10. Then we'd build all the way back up to 5. Nah. I couldn't, nah, but that helped out with my stamina and my running form. So that, yeah, don't do that one here. Well, like the run part, but not the
thought part.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. He's like, oh no, I don't want to think about that today, man. Like, no, that's okay.
No, that running was bad.
But okay, now question for the both of you. What's one things that people or maybe even the media don't see about what it takes to really be an offensive lineman? Like what's something that goes on behind the scenes that people, if you told them straight up, they just wouldn't understand? We can start with Davion.
I feel like the offensive linemen are unsung heroes. Don't nobody notice it until it start working like the air conditioning, you know what I'm saying? So
I
that's
like
the
that
men-
analogy.
that's the mentality you gotta have, because a lot of guys, they see a quarterback or something goes wrong. It's always on the offensive line. Usually the quarterback gets sacked. Could be he missed his read. Could be we gave up a sack, or it could be the running back or a tight end. It's a lot of things that tie into why a play isn't unsuccessful. It's not really just one person, like, because it's your job. Like, you got to play as five. Like, you're only as good as your weakest link on the offensive line, so you got to have trust too. If there's a guy you don't trust, it's gonna be very hard for you to play with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, so the one thing you're not gonna see is like the mentality you gotta have to be offensive lineman. You're not gonna get a bunch of accolades. Not a lot of people are gonna care about it. You know, not a lot of people besides your mom. People, I had a coach used to tell me the only people that care about it is me and your parents. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, like, if you go ask some little kids, how many of y'all want to play lineman? Everybody gonna have their hands down, because there's not really a position that a lot of people play, but it's needed, and it's the most important position in football to me. You know, without an offensive line, if you look at any winning team, any winning program, they usually put out a bunch of good offensive linemen too, because that's the kickstart of a good team right there. The trenches all day. You win the trenches, you can win the game. So the mentality of offensive lineman, you just gotta be ready to put the work in, get ready to not be noticed for it, and just doing your job consecutively over and over and over. And that's building consistency.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Ant?
Really just piggybacking off him. You gotta understand that you like, as a kid, you'll have to humble yourself, because you never gonna touch the ball. You're never gonna be the guy doing the dances in the end zone because you caught the ball. It's just a humbling factor, and understanding that your mentality has to be completely different, because I'm going up against a man who is just as strong, faster than me, could be bigger than me every play.
I guess that kind of ties into my next question. How would you describe the bond of the offensive lineman at Texas Tech? Clearly, you guys have a very close bond. You can goof around and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I feel like building the relationships with the guys off the field is more important than on the field sometimes. Like, yeah, it's cool just being out there, but when you know like what he going through and you know what's going on in his life, it just make you go that much harder for him. Like, it just gives you a sense of appreciation that I'm out here with my brother and we finna go out here and we finna do this thing. We finna get this dub. And about the mentality part, something I left out, I was like, when somebody scores like a running back or something, and you done made a key block, or your O-line done did really good, you go to the sideline, you pull up the iPad, you see it, like, that gives us like confidence. It makes us like prideful. Like, it's like, yeah, we did that too. Like, it's like we scoring the touchdown too. But yeah, back to what you said about yeah, just building a relationship with the guy next to you, man, it's gonna mean so much more when you're out there with him, when he's the one telling you, like, when you know he has your best interest at heart, it means a lot more when you have that relationship with him.
Absolutely. And what would you say is, how would you describe the bond between the offensive linemen?
I think we all very tight-knit, understanding that these 5 guys is guys that I'm going to war with. Like, having a love for one another, not just as a teammate, but as a friend. Somebody who will hold you accountable and be there for you through any hardship or anything that you're facing. Chill, bro. You're not finna laugh. You're not finna ruin it.
This man talking about war, dog. I was just thinking about all us going to war. Like, bro, we would not make it. We too goofy, dog. Is that a ball? Nah.
Oh my God. Better crack, make a buck.
Bro, I was just telling how, like,
Man,
if I got drafted, like, I'm not going to fight, dude. Take me to jail, fam.
Hey, we just in there. Somebody get blowing up, though.
If the O-line had a group nickname, what would it be?
Blubber boys.
The blubber boys. That's what I'm thinking. Like
The blubber boys.
bubble blowing babies or something like that. Like
Mhm.
them boys just so soft and cuddly and goofy, bro. Where is it? Hey, the O-line, but I tell you, bro, it's so unserious. Like people be thinking it's so like serious and stuff. Like when I go back and talk to the kids, they're like, "Man, tell us how hard it is." Like, man, it's hard, but it's like once you having fun and doing like stuff like that, once you build relationships, like it's not even like a job no more. You're not even working hard no more. Like you just out there having fun, and that's what brings out the good teams right there.
You remember Chris Wilkins from the Dolphins?
Yeah, Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
He
So funny.
he played with I actually just talked to my I had dinner. We had dinner with our teammate Caleb Rogers. He got drafted 3rd round last year. Christian Wilkins with the Raiders now.
Oh yeah, I remember him with the Dolphins.
He broke his foot last year, but he gonna be back this year. He goofy too.
Yes.
I done seen this mic'd up moment. He be out there. Yeah, me.
Oh, so funny. I just had to say that. So I took a little look at your Instagram. You're big into fashion. You have little, oh shoot. You have little fits on every now and then. What inspires your style? Like what makes you feel like just you know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I really wasn't a big like Instagram or some person. And then my parents and my brother, really my brother. My brother, he wanted to launch a clothing brand and stuff like that. So he was like, man, you gotta market yourself, especially with the NIL and stuff like that. Like you wanna have a good public figure presence on the IG and stuff. So I just started wearing stuff I like, and it ain't always what other people like, but I was like, man, that'll be cool if I can wear that. So now, I mean, we got NIL and stuff like that, so I buy a couple things that I think will be cool and stuff like that, and I just post it. I just be myself.
Yeah. And then this is a question I love to ask, like considering you're a 5th year senior and you are going into your freshman season, who, as a 5th year, who is a player on the team that you see yourself in? And then who's a player that you look up to as an example?
There are a couple guys I look up to. Davion, Howard Simpson. He plays my position. I always get extra workouts with him. We had a guy here named Sterlo last year. Looked up to him. You know, those are the guys that you chasing after. You trying so hard to be like. Seeing the work that they put in, see how much serious they take the game, but seeing them as a person, it just inspires you to be a better you. You know.
And
I can see myself in a couple of different people, like and Pat. His name Pat. What is it? McBath or McMath? McMath. I'm confused, but both of them guys were smaller like me. So when I got to college, I was like 250. Most of him and Pat came in around the same weight, and they're putting on weight. So those are gonna be your best athletes, cause they used to be a small and running, and now you putting on good weight. You still gonna be able to be fast and quick, you know, like you were. As far as like personality and stuff, man, Q Joyner is funny, cause the way like just the way he carries himself. Or like JC, we got Kendrick. Like it's a bunch of Caleb Douglas, CD. Like we got a bunch of kindred spirits, like coming from like a similar background. Like we can laugh and goof all day. Like, but yeah, younger players like Ant, Pat, as far as football. And then I'm trying to see who would be a good comparison to like personality. Who you think, man?
I'm trying to think. Really like.
Cause I could joke all day. Like I can have people laughing all day. Like,
I can tell.
I'm trying to think. It's just something about being from like the South, like real South, like
Jacoby
Williams.
Y'all act alike. Young folk and goof.
I'm trying to, Jacoby funny too. I'm trying to think who would be a real good one though. It's hard. They got to be from Mississippi. If you Mississippi, it's gonna be real funny, man. I'm telling you, y'all do one of these in Mississippi. Don't do it. Dude, you gonna be laughing all day. Cause people so country. The country people, that's who's gonna be funny, bro. Cause they just funny.
So kind of just to wrap it up a little bit, um, I've heard a lot about how you guys had a tornado come in recently. So just yeah, I was just curious if you guys did anything like as a team for like tornado relief.
No, we usually go to like the shelter. Like we went to Lubbock Impact. We'll do that like as a team.
Mhm.
Like so we'll set out tables for people to come in and eat, and then we'll also do bags like bags of clothes from like dry cleaning that never been picked up. We'll put that and we donate clothes like that. And we built houses earlier this year.
Really?
As a team, so that was pretty cool. We usually always do a little team activity, community service, something like that.
Just to give back and everything. It's awesome though. And then my last question for both of you. What can fans expect next season from Ant Upshaw and Davion Carter?
What you can expect from me, Davion Carter, offensive lineman. I'm gonna bring a lot of energy. I'm gonna protect that quarterback, and we're gonna score a lot of touchdowns. Reckon.
You can expect a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of the things I learned from my true freshman year, and just a lot of love for the game.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for being here with us today and Reckham.
Rep man, record.